Politics as usual. I took my
Welcome back, Politics as Usual episode. I said episode 3 last week. This is episode 3. This first episode was 0 episode. So I'm AJ. Ronnie's back. We got a special guest with us, Patrick, in the building. So if you see him, we're either about to destroy a classic song or talk NBA.
Because all your favorite songs are like terrible stuff.
Yeah, we didn't bring him to talk about Kendrick Lamar. So.
Poison is about chlamydia. There's a post on that. A whole new world from Aladdin is about anal.
Rain by SWV, everybody knows it.
Everybody knows that.
Ejaculation.
Yeah, so, if you see him, one of two things about to happen. So, we appreciate you joining us. Opening night of the NBA just happened. We're really opening week. And what I love about the NBA is you can be about a month in and make predictions and still be completely wrong because the season is so fucking long. So, LeBron.
Let me stop you right here, man. Like, as you know, I'm a casual NBA fan, but like there are some like people like watch NBA like got the package and still don't know the damn thing. Because night after the Celtics game, there was a Twitter post. Like this guy made a whole video. The Celtics need to make a trade right now.
Hilarious.
After the first game?
After the first game, because there's no way that Kyrie and Jalen and Jason can get all their touches on the same team after one game.
I get the logic.
There's logic behind it.
Okay.
But after one game, that's not a large enough sample size to say, hey, let's blow this team up.
You know who I'm going to really have fun with?
Do that.
Lakers fans.
Of course.
Yes. Lakers fans, because every game is going to be like either the greatest thing in the world or the end of the world. Portland probably should have beat them.
Portland was what, the 3 seed last year?
It was playing at home, and it was the first game again. Yeah. They never played before, so
And Nick Stockers was lining them up.
He's never going to shoot.
He's never going to shoot that again in his life.
Lighten them up.
Never. So obviously, Lakers fans was, well, I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on. I'm like, yeah, they're not very good right now. So.
And it's going to take time because it's a bunch of young dudes and LeBron. And LeBron hasn't played with this style of players, basically, in his championship run. He's had shooters, a secondary ball handler, and a stretch big. Like, this is JaVale McGee, Lance Stevenson, Michael Beasley, Rajon Rondo, and a bunch of young dudes.
And also worth noting that a lot of these guys never really played in games that matter.
Right.
Like, JaVale McGee, Rondo,
Stevenson, to a degree.
A lot of them don't know how to play like within a team because they're still, for the most part, like 1 or 2 years removed from being the guy at their respective, college teams. And now you put them all together, and then you toss in LeBron, and now they have to figure out like their roles on the team. Like Bron always talks about it, like this guy has the job on the team. Mm-hmm. So now they have to figure out like, okay, what's this guy's job? Like,
Yeah. So you're really going from Lakers team the last couple of years where like anything they did was viewed upon Lakers fans as the great. Like, Brandon Ingram, he's almost there. He's really good. As now is, hey, we really need you to be really good now because all your games on TV. All your games on TV, everybody's paying attention to you now, and you respect it because you got LeBron on your team. You respect it to get at least to the playoffs.
I think the West isn't as strong as it has been recently. I think there's going to be some drops. I think LeBron, basically, they were what, a 36-win team last year, the Lakers? I think LeBron's good for about 12 to 14 wins.
Yeah, he gives you about 10 more.
They'll be middle of the pack in the West at the very least. Obviously, you got Golden State and Houston 1 and 2, probably. I think OKC will take another step forward with Russ and PG there. Plus, they got another point guard to come in at the end of the game, so Russ can play off the ball. That'll be an interesting experience.
Russ said he was fed up with Schroeder shots. Russ is like, I'm through with it.
I really don't like Schroeder.
I don't either.
I hate his hair. Have you seen his new hair?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
It's like the dumbest hair ever. But I think Houston's definitely going to take a step back. I think Portland's going to take a step back. I think it'd be interesting to see what New Orleans does.
Yeah, watching the New Orleans game, I was like, can they play like this?
Well, their peak is really high, like
Right.
you know. But you know, I don't know if they're gonna like. Mirotic was hitting everything. I don't know if he's gonna play like that all the
Yeah,
time.
the issue is when your best 3 players are probably 3 of your best 4 players are Mirotic, Randall, and Davis, and can you play all 3 of them together in today's NBA with what you need to do defensively? Can Mirotic stay in front of perimeter guards, slashers? Can Randall do that? That's
Sorry to
your
poke
question.
fun at your hat, but Alfred Payton actually looked pretty decent in his role. Your hat. Yeah. Alfred Payton actually looked pretty decent.
Well, you know, he's like he has similar game to Rondo.
Yeah, yeah.
'Cause I was gonna mention that because they missed it. They're gonna miss Rondo.
So he's gonna do what Rondo did last year.
But I don't know how long. I mean, they got away with it.
Right.
Playing starting Eton Thomas at 3. Like they got away with it the last part. I don't know if you can get away with that for the whole season. You know, but I mean,
He's like what, 6'4", 6'5"? He's not.
he's a shooting guard.
He's a shooting
He can't
guard.
play defense at all.
Yeah.
Right.
At all.
And he offends me by wearing number 55. So
His name is Eton.
Yeah.
He offends me by having a name like Eton.
Come on, man.
hey, I ain't gonna lie. For the longest, I thought he was that dude from the Washington Wizards. Like, I'm like,
Yeah, because he said Etwan is Etwan Moore, but yeah, that was Etwan.
Eton Moore,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
he's still in the league.
And I only know that because he played on the Bulls, and they swore up and down he was going to be the solution to backup point guard for Rose. And I was like, yeah, nah. But, so, we ain't going to make this a long episode, so we know the big thing in NBA Twitter is hot takes. So what's like the one hot take that we got for this season?
Go.
I got one. I don't think the West is as strong. I think the West is better than the East, but I don't think that the gap is as big as everybody tries to make it out to be. Like the East, I mean, the West has some good teams.
I think last year the West had 250 teams.
And, you know, like Portland was the number 3 seed.
Right.
Then you got Portland, you got New Orleans, you got, you know, Utah. You got, I mean, okay. Those are decent teams. But you got, on the East, you got, say, Indiana. Indiana was like the 4th seed. I think Indiana, again, you put Indiana against Portland. You put Indiana against New Orleans. You put Indiana against Denver, Minnesota. I mean, the gap is not as big because everybody says, well, this is the West, you know, the East, he can slide through the East with LeBron. But, I mean, the East has talent too.
And sending DeMar and Kawhi each way kind of like levels out the East. Because the East isn't as like top heavy, but like leveled across. Like I feel like it's a more tougher conference, like level. Like because the bottom of the West isn't as strong as the
That's a good point. That's a good point.
That's a very good point.
Because, you know, like you said, you know, you got Golden State, you got Houston. Houston's not going to be as good as they were last year. After that, who you got?
Third best team in the West is probably OKC. Probably.
I mean,
And that's just
and they were
prognostication.
better last year.
Right. And you got to think about how they played opening night. Is that because they've gotten better, or is that because Russell Westbrook wasn't on the court?
Don't do this, man.
Paul
'cause
George didn't
don't
have
do
to
this.
defer.
They're better without hot take. They're better without Rooks.
I wasn't gonna say it, but
Right,
you don't know if they're playing so
Don't
well
do
because
this, man.
PG and Schroeder were able
They
to
playing
play
well
off
off
of
the first
each
game
other,
of the season.
or
Who they
if
play?
they play Golden State.
I mean, it was close. It was a close game.
It was close.
Competitive? Was it competitive?
It got competitive in the second half. It was neck and neck until Golden State inevitably, went Golden State.
Before it was close, I fell asleep because I'm old. But
I did too. I missed PG going off apparently. So.
That's the beautiful part of working second shift is I can be up hella late.
I watched that
watching
game
the
last
game.
night though. Yeah, they just not used to playing with somebody that
Right, you can see LeBron's frustration.
Like, they were
He's
just
telling him
hooping.
to
They
get
were just
spots. And you can,
Because last night, like the little, the commentators always throw out a little tidbit. I was like, Lonzo was like, Rondo had me watching film. I was like, what? You supposed to watch a film like 5 years ago?
Luke Walton's looking at that like, wait,
Like what?
chill.
Hey man, LeBron came. They got this thing called
Chill.
shoot around or something. You just shoot gym. Nobody's watching you though. You just shooting in an open gym. This shit's outstanding, man.
I think probably one of the most amazing things I heard about Rondo was Mark Jackson was telling the story when he said he was coaching the Warriors and they were playing the Celtics and he called a play.
Right.
And Rondo looked up and was like, y'all don't have that player y'all play with. And like they talk about how Rondo knows not only every set on his team, he knows every set that the other team's gonna run. So you can't run nothing past him.
I've heard a story like that, like, you know, somebody point guard calls to play, he'll tell people on the team like where to go and watch out for this.
Yeah, like they gonna be here, you be here. The ball's designed to get this person this shot.
Most people don't know that Rondo was also like the top quarterback in Kentucky, so he could have played football. So the way he processes things is like,
I did not know that.
Yeah, so the way he processes things is like a quarterback, you know, picking up the defense. So.
Similar to people don't know that Michael Vick's play style of quarterback was inspired by Allen Iverson in Virginia. Like he used to go watch Allen Iverson in high school play, and that's where he got the inspiration for his play style.
Apparently, Allen Iverson was really, really good.
Oh yeah, he was very like John Thompson said that he used to have to like stop Iverson from like when he used to walk past the football field to Georgetown, and John Thompson was like,
Iverson said he would last longer in basketball than football.
So it was like, no, you're not doing that.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
That's an absolute fact.
And got paid more.
And way more.
So have you given that your hot take yet?
I would probably say I think my hot take this year is that Philadelphia doesn't finish in the top 3 in the East.
I can see that. I can really see that.
I think that they are
because the expectations are too high too soon.
I think it's too high, but I also think that they might have peaked a little bit too soon. I think last year was probably bad for them in the expectation column, and Kawhi coming back east, plus with the projected leap that Giannis is probably going to make under Budenholzer. I think the Bucks are your third team, and the Pacers
now
are
that
going
they
to
have Bud, they're going to be a lot better because he's a good coach. I like him.
And
the way he did with
he's a good regular season coach.
Right.
So I don't know that Brett Brown is as good a coach, and I don't know that what they did, they pretty much stood pat in the East.
Right.
The Celtics get a boost via their two highest paid players coming back into the fold, which you would assume might be their 2 best players, even though Tatum looks like he's going to be that nigga for the next
He's like way better than I thought he was at Duke. Ingram is like exactly who I thought he would be. He should have came back, I think.
Right.
I'm gonna let me get this out because I have a lot of Laker fans and they know that I hate Brandon Ingram. And let me explain why.
Because y'all are Duke fans.
No, listen to me. Brandon Ingram is a North Carolina sleeper set. He's from Kingston, North Carolina. No, listen to me. He's from Kingston, North Carolina. The moment that those sanctions came down, he went to Duke. Otherwise, he would have went to North Carolina. That's why he half ass all season, and he put on one of the worst performances I've ever seen in the tournament. So for that, I hate.
I mean, to be fair, I think that this whole one and done Coach K, the one and done thing that Coach K has had, has probably benefited North Carolina because they've been able to.
I say all the time, I can't wait until Duke goes back to recruiting slow white boys from Indiana.
Well, I mean, it's probably coming.
It's coming with the G.
I got three points. One. Do they really develop players in North Carolina? Or they just stay there and by the time
they stay there and they're better than the freshmen because they're more experienced.
Because he's 25-year-old.
Same difference.
Like the white boy, he's like 40 because he got grades in the.
Who you talking about?
Still the white boy. He's still there probably.
Oh yeah, I thought you were talking about.
The white boy shot.
Yeah.
He's probably still there.
Yeah. Shit, I was about to say Frazier. He was back in like 06.
Like Coda played for North Carolina for 8 years.
Yeah.
I mean, we can talk about this later. But once I wanted to bring up the G League thing.
I think it's great.
I love it. We don't talk about it now, but I wanted to make a point going back to Philly. I kind of, Ben Simmons and Embiid, I don't think that they're going to last long.
I think they're Shaq and Penny. Someone brought up that point. I think they are. Because if you ask the average person how long Shaq and Penny played together, they probably think it's longer than what it was. I think it was, 2 or 3 years?
3 years.
They didn't
say that so sober.
I mean, because he was a Magic fan, so he would know. Like, I don't think people know how long they play. I don't think it's Embiid. I think it's Simmons that's going to go.
I mean, Simmons think he's the best player on the team. Mm-hmm. Embiid think he is the best player on the team. And
I would say
he is.
And not only that,
I mean, Boston
Embiid is kind of the face of the team. Like he's the most marketable player.
He took trust the process and called himself the
right.
process. The process. Basically, trust me. He turned that into trust
That
me.
was genius.
Not trust what they do and trust
Trust
me.
me.
Yeah.
And that was extremely genius of him. So that's why I think that they're gonna have trouble, because I don't think that Embiid and Simmons are going to be as close knit as people think.
I mean, if they play together, it's room for both of them to be very good.
Right.
But I think Ben Simmons wants to be the guy.
I do this.
Because if you listen to him talk, like he really thinks he's the guy. And you know, Embiid is better than I thought he was. He's better than I thought he could be.
I didn't think that, like, when people were talking about Embiid, I'm like, I mean, he looks like he's cool. But
big.
Yeah.
I think
I didn't think he was that athletic. Like you see this guy's like 7'1", 7'2".
My
And
issue-
he's back in Africa doing like bicycle kicks. Like,
my thing with him is health, because we've seen with bigger guys running them when they get lower extremity injuries, it's tough. But if you don't find 7'1" dudes that can hit the three, that can post up, that can bang, that can block shots. I mean, people call Kristaps the unicorn, but I think Embiid is probably the unicorn for real. Like, Kristaps is a unicorn because he can block shots and hit three.
Right.
But Embiid can take you in the post.
I think it's different because I study. I watch basketball is my shit, but it's the difference between Kristaps and like Embiid. Embiid has the footwork. Like I can tell. Like last night, he moved his bottom, his pivot foot to a fadeaway. You don't see Kristaps
you don't
doing
see
that.
that.
Right.
Kristaps, he's tall. He's like a lumbering guy. He can block shots.
Right.
He can run the floor, shoot threes, but he doesn't have like lateral quickness.
Right.
I mean, Embiid, he's still big and kind of slow, but he's agile. for a
Yeah,
big guy.
he's not bad in front of guards.
Yeah,
Like, he's not going to stop Kyrie, but you're not as worried about him with Kyrie as if Kristaps will with Kyrie.
he'll if Kyrie gets by him, he has enough. His hips can move enough to block his shot.
Right.
I don't know if Porzingis can do that.
Right. And see that, I wonder what Philly's going to do, what Elton Brand is going to do. I love that Elton Brand is the GM, by the way. But I wonder what Elton Brand is going to do when that personality conflict inevitably hits, because if you listen to people who were in the stands during the Philly-Boston series, like Bill Simmons, Bomani Jones, Nick Wright, they all talked about how the crowd was decidedly pro Embiid and didn't necessarily give a shit about Simmons. So you wonder with a Philly crowd how that's going to play out over the next couple years. You're probably going to run into a situation where they're going to have to trade Simmons because they just start clashing. And you don't give up on a guy like
That's what it's gonna
Embiid.
be over a girl. It's not even gonna be over
So,
basketball.
they're like 21. It's definitely gonna be about a girl.
I mean,
They're like 21.
if you see Simmons walking around with Kylie Jenner, I mean, or Tinashe, I mean, it's. Or was he with Tinashe? It was one of them unknown R&B singers that should be big.
Although
this
they
one's
look
Tinashe,
exactly the same.
One of them light-skinned R&B
It's
singers.
the one. It's the light skin one. The one with the ponytail.
That one.
Yeah, it was Tinashe.
But I think that the Bucks are going to be a lot better by virtue of adding Mike Budenholzer. I think if Budenholzer would have went to the Raptors, I think that would have been a boom. And my other hot take is, if Kawhi stays, Kyle Lowry's gone. If they can find someone dumb enough to trade for them.
Nobody's stupid enough to take the time.
There's always someone dumb enough. There's
You know
always
what?
someone
I
dumb
take
enough.
that back because
There's always someone dumb enough.
Mike Conley's making $30 million as well.
There was a point in time when Mike Conley signed his contract. He was the highest paid NBA player in history.
Mike Conley.
Mike Conley.
Mike Conley.
When he signed, like for a brief moment, was like the highest paid player in NBA history.
Would you rather be overpaid or underrated?
I'd rather be overpaid. But I think if Kawhi stays, they're going to have to trade, because Kyle Lowry's 33. And
What?
Yeah,
Exactly.
he'll be 33 at the end of the season.
What?
He's making like 30 something.
He was playing with Alan Ray and
And Villanova.
And do we say Euler?
Oh, Randy Foye.
Yeah, Randy Foye.
By the way, I just want to say fuck Gabe for making that a thing.
You really look like Michael Ford. Randy Ford.
Alright, man. But, so, yeah, Kyle Lowry, I think one of the funniest tweets I've ever seen is somebody said, if Kyle Lowry gains any more weight, we're going to have to start calling him Mo Cheeks.
Hey, man.
Let's call Randy Felton. Randy Felton.
So,
Randy Felton, my size out there running around.
Yes.
he is. But, I think if Kawhi leaves, it's not because of Toronto. I think it's because he knows that you can't win anything with a 35, 36-year-old Kyle Lowry making $40 million. So someone's going to have to be dumb enough to take that contract. And Masai Ujiri is probably a good enough executive to get someone to take it.
You can get off that contract, and I think that if Kawhi signs, if they re-sign Kawhi, they're going to redo the whole team.
Oh, completely. You're going to have to.
You have to.
You're going to have to. Ibaka's going to have to go.
Because Ibaka 39 years old, because everybody know he lied about his age. So.
Ibaka's old. Valanciunas is a fossil in today's game. I think Van Vliet is a good player. I think they've got something with Anunoby.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to get rid of at least Kyle Lowry or Kawhi is not stable.
And that was apparent. That was so apparent last year.
Like he did his handshake with the ghost of DeMar DeRozan like the first game of the season. It's like, bro,
he cried in the car.
Yeah.
He definitely cried in the car.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, I understand, I get it. DeMar was your dude, but this is Kawhi Leonard. And this is the dude that made LeBron go shit when he checked into a finals game.
He's like walking back and looking like, fuck.
Damn, this nigga back in the game. Like Kawhi is that dude. Like, and he showed he can still play when he need, and he's better at the three. He's probably the best perimeter defender we've seen this side of Scottie Pippen.
He's legit better at everything than the world.
Everything.
And after this break, we're going to talk about how overrated and trash DeRozan is.
Hey, we ain't gonna do that though.
Yes, we are.
I'm kind of pissed off because I should have did something like that.
Hey,
Because that's my passion.
all the time when I have an NBA question, I come to you first because I respect your knowledge of just the game itself. And I've been more so a casual watcher of the NBA for probably the majority of the time I watch. But this year I've started watching more. Like I was watching all the preseason games. Like this year I'm going to summer league. Like I made up my mind. Like in all season I'm going to summer league just to watch. Just because it's such well, I do have two dudes I grew up with do live out there. So like I know people. One of my aunts lives out here, but. I enjoy watching the game. Like I'm gonna go to some Hawks games. November 30th is when the Jazz play the Hornets in Charlotte. I'm going to that game. Donovan Mitchell is my second favorite player after Kyrie. But like,
Kyrie's my favorite player.
Tell this Donovan Mitchell story.
So this happened on Bill Simmons' podcast.
Look at the shirt, by the way, while he's telling the story.
And the hat. So the Hornets are my team. I was a Bulls fan lifelong, but I refused to root for the Bulls until Garth Foreman is gone. They just made so many terrible decisions. So I was like, if I'm gonna root for a bad team, I'm gonna root for the Hornets because I moved to Charlotte a couple years ago. It's probably my favorite city I've lived in, and I just like the Hornets. I like Kemba Walker. He's my third favorite player in the league. But so apparently during the 2017 draft. The front office, the Hornets had the 11th or 12th pick. They write down the pick, they go to hand it in. The name on the pick is Donovan Mitchell. They're going to hand it in. Here comes Michael Jordan in his size 40-44 jeans with his yellow eyes, drunk off some Hennessy. And he says, we're drafting Malik Monk. Mind you, I think Malik Monk is a good player. I think Malik Monk is not a good player on a team with Kemba Walker, who is also a diminutive, defensively deficient guard. Like, I don't think Monk is a good player with Kemba Walker.
Devil's advocate here. Did anybody know Donovan Mitchell was going to be this good?
No.
I didn't know he was going to be this good.
No.
Apparently, Bill Simmons has told the story several times that one NBA executive said Mitchell was going to be the steal of the draft because his dad has worked in pro baseball his entire life, and they've said the children of athletes tend to do better on these stages than a lot of players. Now, mind you, I don't think Monk's rookie year was his fault because Steve Clifford had him in the G League for half a year. And Steve Clifford was hell-bent on starting Michael Kidd-Gilchrist, who was one of the most offensively inept players I've ever seen. So, I think Borrego this year, just saying, I'll play Lamb, Monk, and Kemba at the same time. We gonna score. We gonna get scored on. But fuck it. Like he had a lineup out there. I think at one point Kemba, Lamb, Monk, Gilchrist, and Batum were on the floor at the same time. Like he was just like, fuck it. We gonna play small. We gonna play fast, and we gonna switch every damn thing.
Might as well.
But
you know what I hate on your team?
Who?
Like probably I hate Raven Felton.
Oh, you hate Marvin
And I
Williams.
also hate Marvin Williams.
Bro, I hate
Marvin Williams been stealing money for a long time, man.
Yeah,
He been stealing money for a long time.
I'm trying to think about anything I like about him. I hate
Marvin Williams
I think he came
was
into
a
the
backup on that UNC team.
a back and went number
backup
two.
and went number two.
Number two. And that's the crazy part.
They were just like he looks good. He looks good.
Look at his frame.
He came into the league probably about 5 years too soon. He's a decent
He
small
definitely would
ball.
have played for North Carolina the other 5 years.
He's a decent small ball stretch four. But for most of his career, like
He
the
could not
Hawks,
see.
the Hawks had him at the
What's
three.
his name? Javon Williams. He could not see him though. So was he really?
Sean May.
Sean
No,
May,
because
Javon
it was
Williams.
who was that starting five? It was Raymond Felton, Rashad McCants, who UNC is all but disavowed in the knowledge
He
of.
who shall not be named.
Sean May, Jackie Manuel
Yeah,
was
Jackie
the
Manuel,
three,
yeah.
and I forget who the four was on that team. Yeah, he couldn't unsee whoever that four was.
Javon Williams. I'm telling you, and his name was Javon.
Jawad.
Jawad
Williams,
Williams.
okay.
Jawad Williams.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean that's a good point. I mean he's a prototypical stretch four. Like 5 years before stretch fours was
a thing. Yeah.
Right, because he's only like what 6'8", 6'9", something
He's
like
like 16
that,
or something.
and he doesn't have the lateral quickness to guard three.
Because he was like,
And
he was like, yeah, and his name Marvin Williams, but he was like, wasn't he like 3 or 4 years before that? Not even that much, like
No,
2 or 3
because he
years.
came out.
No,
he
he
came
was
out
about
in the whole five draft.
What I'm saying is he was about 2 or 3 years before that big wing boom happened, where
Right.
where there was like, okay, is he a 3 or he's a 4? Like,
And that's the thing.
Back then he was a tweener.
Yeah,
They
right,
hated
right.
tweeners.
Because he played on that team with Josh Smith, and they had like Josh Smith at the 4 and him at the 3. And it's like, okay, you might need to swap that,
Right.
just to give you the spacing so that Josh Smith can bang can play with the threes, and Marvin Williams can kind of keep fours out of the lane. But yeah, no, I agree with you. Marvin Williams, the number 2 draft pick, and I kind of want to write a post on this. The number 2 draft pick has kind of been a trap for the past few years.
Yes.
Like there have been some horrible number
Bro,
2
don't,
draft picks.
don't draft me number 2.
Hasheem Thabeet,
That was just stupid.
When's the last time a number 2 pick has been like
Kevin Durant.
No, because Ingram went number 3, right? Who
No,
went number
Ingram was
2?
2. Because the Lakers had 2 picks in a row.
No.
Russell, Ingram,
That was
and-
3.
No, Ingram was 2.
No, Fultz was 1. And somebody else was 2. And Ingram was 3, I think.
No. Lonzo was 2. Fultz was 1, Lonzo was 2,
Lonzo was
and then Tatum was 3, which might turn out to be the greatest step that Danny Ainge ever made. Because another stupid decision that Michael Jordan made was apparently the year Justice Winslow came out. Danny Ainge was willing to trade 3 first-round picks for the pick that ended up being Frank Kaminsky, and Michael Jordan's drunk ass
He was like,
said, nope, I want to stretch 5. So we gonna take Frank Kaminsky. You know who those picks turned into? Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
Right.
This is why when I said I'm gonna be a Hornets fan, because I know they trash and I know Michael Jordan gonna do a lot of drunk bullshit.
You mentioned Markelle Fultz. Fun fact. Markelle Fultz hit a 3 last night.
He did.
More threes.
More
than-
threes than Ben Simmons has ever hit in his whole career. In one game.
Like, and it's not that Simmons can't shoot.
He just won't. And that's going to come.
He won't
That's
shoot.
going to bite him in his ass, eventually. Because
Especially in the playoffs. Like,
they don't want to shoot that shit.
because I mean, basically,
Simmons just sometimes just try to play too pretty.
It's like he think like, I don't have to shoot threes.
like
Ben Simmons.
Brad Stevens basically said, okay, when Ben Simmons is leading the break, we're just gonna pack the paint and we're gonna dare you to shoot. That's like they did that against Giannis, and Giannis came out in the offseason and said, okay, I gotta learn to do shit. I gotta be at least a 35% 3-point shooter
That's why Giannis
to
gonna be
make
a
teams.
problem this year. 'Cause
I
he's
think
added to his
Giannis
game.
is going to win the MVP.
He started to shoot that 3.
He started.
I really haven't paid attention to the book.
He started. And I think if he can be, he don't even have to be 40, 35% from 3. And Giannis is a problem.
You know what?
Because you have to at least step out there to guard him.
You don't even have to do 35. Just do 30 and I'll shoot it if you leave me open.
Right.
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 That's it.
Like, just at least be a
Like
threat.
even Rondo, who his entire career we've known he can't shoot the 3, will shoot it if you leave him open.
And if you make
because
it-
he knows. It's like, okay, I'm gonna at least shoot it. You're gonna have to respect it. And if 2 of these go in, you're gonna come out on me and I can blow past you and draw somebody else off and get a real 3-point shooter open.
Yep.
So I think that's Ben Simmons' problem is it's not that he can't shoot, he refuses to do it. Like there were times in the Boston series last year where they were just packing the paint and he was just like dribbling. And he's like, all right, somebody get open. It's like, bro, you can't do that.
You the guy.
Like you ain't even behind the 3-point line. Like you just 18 feet out and you won't even take the elbow jumper. Like Elton Brand was hitting the 18-foot elbow jumper. Like, come on, fam, you gotta.
Let me
try.
tell you, Philly fans don't like that. Like,
Yeah, that's why I
back
think
to
that
what
they-
you said, like Philly fans will kill because they gave him a pass last year because they weren't supposed to be. Well, I'm not gonna say they weren't supposed to be there, but they're still relatively young. But Simmons is like has all the makings to be that fall guy already.
And because of his attitude,
Yeah.
like he's kind of a dick. Not even kind of. Ben Simmons is a dick.
Yeah.
So
you were saying that as a Donovan Mitchell fan, so
alright, but he is still a dick. But I like Ben Simmons.
Who's rookie of the year last year?
It was Ben Simmons.
Definitely Donovan Mitchell.
I think it was Ben Simmons.
I don't think. Yeah, let me give you my speech.
Okay, go ahead. You the basketball guy. I defer to you.
I don't think if you just same thing with Blake Griffin. If you spend a year in the system, in the NBA system, you're not a rookie.
Okay, now that I agree with you. I think he wasn't technically a rookie because he had access. Because I remember you making this point. He's practicing with pro players. He's learning systems. He's watching film. He has that. Yeah, I agree.
So you come in already knowing the plays. You already know the level of competition. You know the speed of the game.
He got a red shirt here.
Yeah. He's not a rookie.
Yeah, I think if it was, but I mean, I think out of that draft class, I think that's the biggest, like I said, this is the biggest heist Danny Ainge made. Because he was picking Tatum regardless.
Yeah.
But he tricked the Sixers into thinking. And if you're the Lakers, how dumb do you have to be? You could have gotten something from Philly or from Boston if you'd have just said, all right, we might pick Tatum. But they were like, nope, Lonzo Ball all the way.
They wanted
Lonzo Ball.
Magic
Magic swears up and down that's going to be him. But it's like, dog, you like...
Be like shortstop.
And Kobe's like, why didn't we draft this dude?
Yeah.
Like, dog, Jason Tatum is going to be a real beast, and he's playing out of position right now. That's the crazy part.
He's getting better. He's doing stuff now. Like the step back, he took Embiid and just did a drop step. I was like, he didn't do that dude. Like, I didn't even think that was possible.
Like, and he's probably playing for the best coach in basketball right now, not named Greg Popovich.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane. And somebody said something crazy, talking about Kyrie didn't want to be second fiddle to LeBron, so now he's going to be second fiddle to Jason Tatum. I think being second fiddle to LeBron and Jason Tatum are two different things. If you're saying Kyrie is second fiddle,
Not even there. Brad Stevens knows how to
how to get everyone.
He knows how to slice the pie up.
He's
Like,
an
he
equal
doesn't-
opportunity
yeah.
coach. He was letting Terry Rozier take shots that Terry Rozier shouldn't have took last year in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it worked until it didn't work.
and in Boston, I think it can be understood that Jason Tatum could be the best player, but Kyrie still be the star. I think that's possible. I don't think that's not possible in Cleveland. That wasn't possible.
I absolutely think it's possible because I think Kyrie gets off on because he had an interview on the Bill Simmons podcast and he said sometimes there might be a quarter where he might just go to the lane 4 times in the first quarter just because he knows he can do it. And he's like, all right, I can do that. I'm going to wait till the fourth quarter to do that again. And then he spends the rest of the game playing team ball. And I think that's the kind of dude that Kyrie likes knowing he can do it more than necessarily doing it. Like, I don't think he has to be the 28 point per game guy. I think he's fine getting 22 as long as he knows, okay, in the fourth quarter, I can carve y'all boys up. Like, he has that. Like, I think he was the perfect dude to take that shot against Golden State. Because he wasn't scared. Like, that's what made me a fan of him. Because when I seen it, I'm like, bro, that's cold.
That's everybody's like, oh, Kyrie stepped up to the play. I was like, nah, that's the stuff that Kyrie's been wanting to do all along.
Kyrie was doing that on like the Cleveland team that was winning like 18 games.
Like that's when Kyrie's.
And see, here's my thing. And I know you thought I've been a LeBron hater in the past. I think LeBron will go down as one of the 2 greatest players of all time. I think he's probably the most talented player.
I think he's already the greatest. And this is me growing up in the era of MJ and seeing what
so here's my thing. I think with LeBron and MJ it's similar to Rodgers and Brady. I think Rodgers is the most talented quarterback that has ever set foot on the football field. I think Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback that has ever set foot. I think LeBron is the most talented, the smartest basketball player ever. I don't think he's the greatest though. I think he's the best. To me, that's a subtle differentiation, and it's not going to be for everybody.
Yeah.
So I think the thing with LeBron is LeBron realized when he got to Miami, my best options to win are a secondary ball handler or a stretch big. And those teams are designed so that they run an optimal performance when LeBron is on the court. That's why I think it's not like the Cavs were playing with 2 All-Stars before LeBron got there. No, it was Kyrie and a bunch of bums. And then LeBron got there, he's like, okay, we finna slowly remake this roster. And that's part of LeBron's genius. I think Kyrie was fed up because because Paul George said it this offseason. He said, if I go to LA and we beat Golden State, it's because LeBron did.
But we lose.
if I stay here and we beat Golden State, it's because I stayed. And he realizes that, and I think everyone's starting to realize the curse of playing with LeBron is, if you win, LeBron did it. If you lost, it's because LeBron didn't have enough help, and you are included in that help. So I think that's the reason you're seeing these stars not play with LeBron. I think that's why Kyrie wanted to get away. So that's not me being LeBron. Hey,
a couple things. Let me interrupt you, bro. A couple things with the Kyrie thing. One, I didn't see it, but Kyrie saw it.
Yeah.
He said, because he said in the same Bill Simmons interview, if I would have stayed, he said, everything that happened that I thought was going to happen happened. So imagine if I would have just stayed in Cleveland, I would have been, yeah. And also,
the point is, I think Kyrie is that.
Basically,
I really want that. Because it was.
I think Kyrie is that rare dude that loves the game more than anything. I think he wants to play ball at the highest level imaginable. That's why when people were saying he's going to leave Boston, I'm like, why leave Boston? You got probably the best coach in the game. You got Jason Tatum coming up. You got Gordon Hayward who can be a stretch 3, stretch 4. Go ahead. Jump back in.
People talk about, Kyrie and he should be happy to have LeBron. Like they don't really realize, like LeBron came to Cleveland after, literally after Kyrie signed that extension. So Kyrie signed that extension. I'm gonna be the man in Cleveland. Then you brought in LeBron. It's like, God damn. You know what I'm saying? So it's like.
And then you and outside of basketball, not even having to answer questions like, do you look at LeBron as a father figure? I hated
who wants to answer that?
And Kyrie's
like,
Kyrie's like my father. Is from lived in Australia. We're from New Jersey.
But that's what made Kyrie my favorite player. It's just like he just don't care. He just want to hoop. And I love his game. People always say, Kyrie don't pass. He ain't finna get people involved. What game are you watching?
Man, you just drunk. You don't know what you're talking about.
That is our associate producer, Brian King.
I like that shirt.
He's the reason we got this setup going on. But no, I think I love Kyrie's game. I've grown to respect it because it's not that he's the selfish dude like Kobe is. He's just a dude who wants to hoop. He loves the game for the game's sake. And I like that about him.
All right,
because he just wants to hoop.
I think Kyrie, Kobe's one of his, idols. But
And I've never been a Kobe.
I think that Kobe is Kyrie's like, I just want to win, I just want to play, I want to take the last shot because it's going to make the team better. Kobe's like, I want to take the last shot because I know I'm the best player, and then we're going to win because of me.
Right. And there's a certain maniacal insanity that goes into being Tom Brady, Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan. There's a maniacal insanity.
Yeah, you gotta be
to where
egotistical.
There's a certain level of just I'm crazy that you have to be those dudes. That's why I don't fault LeBron for people getting on him about passing out of the lap. My thing with LeBron has always been, dude, you're the best. Just do it.
I started liking LeBron more when he embraced the dark side. When he stopped trying to play the good guy role and when he just said, "Fuck it, I'm rich and y'all just."
That first Miami,
yeah.
But it all comes. I really had fun that night.
I had fun too. He was talking directly.
But I got to talking.
I was all in his. I got Twitter that night.
In 2011,
When he got shut down by JJ Barea.
I don't think I went to sleep that night because it was just a fun night.
Bruh, that was peak Twitter.
They went to the club and everything. They had pizzas in the club and it was like, man, imagine 2018. They had like
dog. Deshaun Stevenson was wild.
Snapchat in the club and like, I'm feeling
But no, I definitely think LeBron has been underrated because too many people have gone in on him for his finals resume.
That's not true.
No, I think people will miss him when he's gone, watching the stuff that he did on the court. But I also think that people underrated. I think if the Cavs make the playoffs this year, you kind of have to ask, was that team last year as bad as people said it was?
I mean, I was going to take it down. I mean, let's think we need some structure because we just talking. But we can just go in the East. I think that Cleveland is interesting.
They are.
Because I don't think they're as bad as people expect them to be.
They're not.
I don't think so.
You got your all-star.
Mm-hmm.
You got your young rookie. You got shooters.
You got Rodney Hood, who who,
Look,
whatever
look,
he
look,
is,
look.
Rodney Hood is a decent wing player in today's NBA.
Look. Oh, go ahead, Pat, before I come in. Go ahead. See, I like Rodney Hood.
I like it.
But look at this. People kill Rodney Hood for saying, I was in Utah and I got to play my game. But when I went to Cleveland, the spotlight was on me when I made mistakes. Now repeat what Kyrie said. Doesn't that sound like the same thing?
It's the exact same thing.
It's the exact same thing.
And
now
that's
Rodney Hood's gonna get back to doing what he used to do. I think
15 to 18 points per game.
He'll give you a good 15 a game.
All right, so who are the 8 playoff teams in the East?
Okay.
Boston, Toronto, Philly, Milwaukee. We'll throw Indiana in there.
Yeah.
Those are probably your guaranteed 5 in the playoffs.
How many is it? 5?
That's 5.
Let me give you the rest of them. Give me okay.
Boston, Philly,
Philly.
Toronto, Milwaukee, Indiana. I say Washington.
Washington is different. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
Washington's different.
I think Washington.
You know what? Well, I like Washington. I like the talent, the group of talent that Washington has. If they can, this is a team full of like knucklehead, like you got Wall and Bill. I don't think they like each other really.
They don't.
And, you got Oubre. He's crazy.
They don't like each other.
Oubre is crazy.
I think the worst thing they did
The White
was
House.
the worst thing they did was matching Otto Porter when they had Oubre right there.
The report is terrible.
I don't know.
I don't like him.
I don't know. Otto Porter is secretly the best 3-point shooter in the league. I mean, statistically.
Okay.
I think he's good. I just think he was overpaid for what he ended up getting.
Sometimes you gotta pay. Okay, like I'm going off on tangent, but Joe Johnson. They had to pay Joe Johnson.
I agree there.
Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes you just gotta pay people. Like Minnesota, they had to pay Andrew Wiggins.
They did. A lot of people talk about that, but they did have to pay Andrew Wiggins.
If Butler got there before the contract, then no, they didn't have to pay.
And the thing is, like we were talking about this off camera about NFL and NBA. Like you could kind of take a swing on the guy more so in the NBA the way the CBA is constructed. So
Because I don't know if Milwaukee's used their amnesty provision, they can use the amnesty.
So with a guy like that, be like, okay, we know this is what this guy gives us consistently. Like, okay, we know where we got with him. We don't know what else is out there. So let's just re-up on him. So
Yeah. I wasn't mad at that.
But it looks terrible. 5 years, 190 for Wiggins.
yeah, especially when they're like, hey, prove to us you're gonna get better from inside this cut shirt.
Yeah, my thing is just Jimmy Butler walking in and saying Cat would go score on him and Cat passing the ball out.
Terrible, man.
But we got off for the 10.
Cannot let them
So we got Washington at 6.
Okay, so
Who
Washington
are the
6.
7th and 8th teams in the East?
I mean, after that, it's just like it's cloudy. I mean, Detroit maybe.
Should be Detroit.
Yes, you
Should
got
be.
2 of the best 4 and 5 play. Like, if you went top 5, 4 and 5 in the league, they probably have 2 of those.
Yes, but name me 2 of their guards.
Reggie Jackson and what?
Exactly.
Langston Galloway and Luke Kennard.
Yeah.
And I only said Luke Kennard because I know he's on there, and I'm shocked that he was.
Sure.
But
I didn't think you could do that. But yeah, those are the. I mean,
I watch a little more than.
I'm impressed. But yeah, so yeah, that Detroit might maybe.
I would.
I like Miami.
Yeah, I was
Miami will probably be
I was thinking
just
Miami,
because
but Miami
Hassan
too much
and
but-
Wade's there and Dragic is there. I
Do you
think
think
they'll
Hassan
get it.
really gonna he gonna stay there? Like they gonna keep him there?
Who gonna trade for that contract?
Someone else?
Do you think Miami's taking back Lowry in that deal? You think Pat Riley's taking back Kyle Lowry in that deal? Because I mean, if you match his salaries, that's really all you can do.
Yeah, I mean, they got Dragic though. They paying
It's like
Dragic
Pat Riley called about Jimmy
money.
Butler. He was like, yo, fuck off.
Like he like, all right, we got a deal. Yeah, give me two more first round picks, you motherfucker. Pat Riley was like, hell no.
It's like damaged goods. Like they have to get rid of Jimmy Butler. Like they have to.
They have to.
You can't let him play the whole season.
Cause he pumped your 2 best players with the dudes out the HR office. He pumped you with these
I saw those
mad
for
bitches.
dudes.
I was just, again, another tangent. I was listening to some podcast when I was riding around looking for parks, but Rachel Nichols said the representative from Jimmy Butler's camp called him and said, come to Minnesota. Like, this was before the thing happened. She said, come to Minnesota. She flew to Minnesota before all this stuff happened. So he knew this stuff was going to happen.
He knew it.
He knew it.
But, and that says a lot about him to recognize. Like, to me, I think the funniest part of this is Wiggins and his brother almost beefing with Steven Jackson. And of all people, Jerry Stackhouse happened to squash it. Jerry Stackhouse happened to maturity. Jerry Stackhouse, who, by the way, Steven Jackson calls OG. And if you don't know about Jerry Stackhouse, Jerry Stackhouse,
I don't think you want to mess.
You don't want.
You don't want to mess. You don't want to mess with Steven Jackson, but you definitely don't want to mess with Jerry Stackhouse.
And Steven Jackson calls Stackhouse OG. Stackhouse had to be the one to call Steven Jackson and say, chill. That's how bad this had gotten. Steven Jackson from Port Arthur, Texas. Steven Jackson, who once picked up drugs out of a trap house, put them in his pocket and walked out because he knew the police wouldn't search him. He risked everything so his homeboys wouldn't get in trouble. That's the kind of dude Steven Jackson is. And Jerry Stackhouse had to call and say, chill. That's how Jimmy Butler knew, oh, y'all boys are soft. Y'all soft.
Man, I lost all respect for Wiggins after that.
I lost more respect for Towns. You had this boy in the post, and he said he can't do nothing against me. And rather than you prove it wrong, you said, you right.
You gotta do something. I don't care if you elbowed him, threw it over the rim or something. You gotta shoot it.
Like, get an offensive foul or something, man. Like, you can't pass. Jimmy Butler is 6'6". Karl Anthony Towns is 7 feet tall. You mean to tell me you couldn't do nothing against this dude that you had half a foot of height against?
And that's Minnesota's problem. Like, they're like, for one thing, they got a coach who.
Tom Thibodeau ain't gonna stop till he tears every ACL of every star player that he's ever played.
He want to drive the car to the ground, basically.
He want to
and then to make it worse, he has a roster of guys who, like, it's like the old Bulls over here, and then like new guys who just don't have.
I wouldn't be shocked if Joakim Noah ends up on that team at some point.
He will.
But so
get the bag back.
If Miami's 7, we're at about 48 minutes total.
One more.
Oh yeah, we got to.
I'm saying, like, maybe we can just talk now, but maybe we can go through team by team or some shit like that.
So, all right, so let's go by who you think. We can do end of the year awards prediction.
Okay. We can do it on those.
I mean, what you want?
Yeah, let you run through it real quick.
MVP. I'm gonna go dark horse and say Kawhi. I think Kawhi got something to prove. Normally I'd say Giannis, but I'm gonna say Kawhi to be all.
Probably gonna be Durant, but I think, I hope it's Giannis. I
would like to see Giannis win.
I hope he takes another step, but I think that, it's gonna go to the best player on the best team, and it's probably gonna be Durant.
That's what the MVP should be, in my opinion, but
I think there should be an MVP and MOP, just in my opinion.
No,
because I don't think Durant's gonna get it for that reason. For one thing, like as talented as he is, like it's crazy that he's like not more like popular or liked, and plus he's on Golden State now, so I think he's definitely about to have like a great season. But I think that counts as him out, so I think it's Giannis.
I think people don't like Durant because of his personality. Like, he's like a passive aggressive pussy.
I agree with you there.
Because
he don't do it.
Even the GM fucked him or something. It was like, oh yeah, it's like Steph matters. We could get rid of you. So
imagine somebody like Durant with the personality of like a Ben Simmons. He'd be like a huge star.
Mm-hmm. He would be.
Like if Durant, like, yeah, I'm better than LeBron, and I know I'm better than LeBron, and LeBron pussy. What's up?
All right, so my A team in the East, I'm calling the Hornets. It ain't gonna happen, but I'm calling it.
I mean, I was getting down to it, but I think it's gonna come to like Detroit, Chicago's gonna suck, Orlando's gonna suck.
Oh man,
Atlanta's gonna suck.
Let me pause and say I feel so sorry for you, boy.
The Nets are gonna suck.
Because what I saw, what was that? What's that last night?
He didn't even start last night, did he?
Yeah, they brought him off the bench.
They brought him off the bench, but when he got on, man. Like,
you bring him home and bring him off the bench? That's correct. All right, defensive player of the year.
Probably Embiid.
I think Embiid gets it this year too.
Embiid. Yeah. But really, because he was so close last year, and I just don't know. I can't put any kind of expectations on Kawhi because
I don't think Gobert is gonna get it this year. I think Kawhi's issue is probably just gonna be he might. I don't think people are gonna he's gonna go up against that competition. I mean, unless he has like a performance where he like locks down Giannis.
I just think that he's going to have to carry so much of the offensive load.
Coach of the year?
Brad Stevens.
Brad Stevens once he wins the NBA championship.
Stevens.
I really think that of all teams in the NBA, Boston is built to beat Golden State.
I get tired of people saying, well, when you get to the playoffs, only 1 through 8 matters. Well, if you have 1 through 10, why would we use 1 through 10?
Because 1 through 8 matters.
I get that, but if you got 2 extra dudes, I'm not saying you got to
Toronto
rely on
had
them.
10 great. Toronto has 10 great dudes, but we saw that.
Put them together.
I think psychologically they 1 through 10 was different though. I think Golden State's extra 2. I mean, they 3 off the bench is what? Morris, Smart, and Rozier. But I think Baines and Yabusele and Thielen, one of them 2. I don't think they chump either. I think it matters if someone gets injured.
Oh yeah, I think
slide
I actually
into
like
the
Yabu
spot.
a lot. I think he.
Yeah. That's why I think that they straight 1 through 10. I think even a 1 through 8 is probably better than Golden State's 1 through 8.
Yes. But Golden State's 1 through 4.
Well, Golden State's 1 through 5.
Well, I mean,
although I think Boogie's gonna do more harm than good. That's it. I think Boogie's impact is gonna be on let's win 1 for Boogie more than it's gonna be his actual productivity on the
Y'all
court.
about to see the floor Boogie.
Because
Y'all about to see Boogie posted up from half court.
no, bro, I'm saying Boogie Cousins and fucking Draymond Green on the same team.
Yeah.
Boogie and Draymond on the same team. That's gonna end in a fight.
I don't think so because I think Boogie is like, I'm just here for the ride.
Yeah, you're just like, I'm just here. Like, you know,
But I think Brad Stevens gets it. 6th man of the year.
I get your bar, shit.
I don't think he's gonna
I'll go
be
Scary
on the
Terry.
I think I was actually gonna say I think Rozier gets
Hot take. I think Terry gets traded for a trade deal.
That's not a hot take at all. I actually bought it. I bought it. But yeah. Because when the Kawhi thing was up in the air, I was like, if anybody goes from that team, it wouldn't be Kyrie. It would be a combination of picks and then Jalen and Rozier.
What do y'all think Anthony Davis is gonna get traded this year? He just went the clutch.
That's another whole conversation because I don't think.
If I'm Boston, I do it.
I don't think New Orleans wants to do it because you need a star in New Orleans.
But I think Anthony Davis is going to demand it.
But no, I don't think.
Well, not demand it in front of the scenes, but I think they're gonna realize that he's either gonna walk, or we're gonna have to get something from
Oh
him.
yeah. Because
Say Boston got the most assets.
I don't think that Boston. We started out the whole conversation by saying too much that Boston has played. I think they got to break it up because they don't have the minutes to.
Yeah.
I mean, I would honestly, if I'm Danny Ainge, I'll probably call it, and I'm saying Jalen.
We give up.
Yeah,
Jalen, Terry.
And as much as I like Jalen, just because he's like a motor guy, like he's gonna get a short end of the stick.
Jalen, Terry, and
I don't think
anybody
Jalen's
not
good
named
enough to
Jason
be
Tatum.
I don't think Jalen is good enough. Any combination of it with Jalen is the best player is not good enough.
So any
Well, I'm
combination
saying-
of like Jalen, Rozier, and Pitts.
No. I'm saying Jalen, Rozier, and anybody not named Tatum.
I think you give.
Oh, yeah.
So
you give up Tatum. If you keep Kyrie and you give up Tatum. And
I don't know if I'm in the camp that I might give up Kyrie before I give up Tatum.
I understand that, but
It would be dirty if they did Hayward like that since he turned down the max to
I mean,
get there. But if it's Anthony Davis, I mean, my question is, well, they do have the Memphis pick. They have the Memphis pick and the Kings pick this year. So if you're the Memphis pick is top 8 protected, I think. So as long as I think Memphis is going to try to finish outside the top 8.
Memphis gonna be terrible.
Yeah.
So, well, I mean, if they finish the top 8, that doesn't go there. And they
They're
got
not
the
gonna
Kings pick.
finish top 8 because they're gonna be terrible.
Well, I mean, in the bottom 8.
Oh, well,
Okay.
yeah, they definitely gonna be in part of it.
So they get the Memphis pick, and then they still have another pick, I think, from the Clippers, I think. So they've got picks plus their own. So I think they can put together a package of picks to get there. My question is New Orleans looking like, hey, we struck gold on Anthony Davis. We need something more than just some potential draft picks. And in that case, I'm wondering, do you say, hey, Hayward, I know you came here to play with your college coach, but this Anthony Davis will come.
I don't think Hayward gets you Anthony Davis. I think Tatum gets you.
If I'm New Orleans,
how is Anthony Davis? 26, 27?
Something like that.
I feel like he's about to be 27. Yeah. I think he's about to be 27.
Okay.
I mean, if I'm New
Tatum's like 21, like 20 or 21, maybe 20.
That might be where the Lakers might be able to. Yeah, Tatum's 20.
Okay.
That might be where the Lakers might be able to beat Boston. Is the Lakers are probably more willing to give up their young core because they don't have anyone who's as good as Tatum is going to beat. I think you can give up Lonzo.
That means the offer is not as good.
Nobody like that's the thing. Angel want anybody.
Nobody wants Lonzo except the Lakers.
Nobody.
I agree.
Like Lakers could put together any package. They will laugh at it.
I mean, I think a package with Ingram might entice the Pelicans to do it.
Ingram.
I didn't say he was good. I said it might entice the Pelicans to do it.
Okay.
I didn't say that he was that
The
good.
Pelicans would be dumb.
Let me ask you this. Okay. Jalen, Terry, and a pick. Ingram, whatever the Lakers can put together. Who you pick?
That's what I'm saying. The Boston package is better.
I would take the Boston package unless LA's package is Ingram, Kuz, and Lonzo for AD. And I think LeBron would sign off on it.
I don't know if
Because
that's
Rondo, AD, and LeBron, that might get you pretty far in the playoffs.
I don't know if Lonzo was just like a. I don't know.
I'm not.
Kuzma's good, but I don't know if Kuzma is like
I'm saying if
like
I'm the Pelicans, I think that's a better sell to my fan base in a small market. Those three dudes.
Pat, let me ask you this thing, because a lot of real basketball heads say they still think Lonzo is gonna be good. Like, because I listened to once again the Bill Simmons pod. Steve Nash was on there. Simmons as Steve Nash, the one player you're most excited about. He said Lonzo Ball.
I think Lonzo's going to be good. He's just not going to be good in a way that casual NBA fans like.
Okay.
I think he's at his peak. He's a 12, 9 and 7 guy, which isn't bad for a point guard. If your point guard's giving you 12 points, 7 rebounds, and 9 assists, you're okay with that. But I think the issue with him is he's in LA. He's not going to do that. Here's my other hot take.
I'm gonna answer your question.
I would honestly, at this point, this is going in my 10 things I would do to improve the NBA post. I would take New Orleans, put them in Seattle. I would take the Clippers and put them in Vegas. And I think that's an immediate boon to the NBA right now. New Orleans is not big enough to sustain an NBA
But
franchise.
Seattle is a picture for a team right now. Like everybody wants to see.
Take the team that New Orleans stole from Charlotte, and put them in Seattle. Take the stolen team and put them in the city that the team got stolen. Because the NBA is not going to expand at this point.
No.
I don't think the NBA
doesn't
can
need
handle 32 teams
Doesn't
at this
need
point.
to.
Vegas and Seattle are your two best markets to go to right now. Take the Clippers, get them out of LA, and say, look, you guys are never going to win LA. You had 8 years of Laker mediocrity, you still couldn't take LA. Move y'all to Vegas, take New Orleans, put them in Seattle. But go ahead and answer.
That's actually one of your best ideas ever.
That's not even a hot take. That's like an actually good idea.
Yeah, that's actually a great idea.
But okay. I think Lonzo will be good. I think because he's like one of the few players in the league now that can like control tempo. The tempo is important in today's NBA. Like LeBron can control tempo. Rondo can do it to a lesser extent because he's old. Like, Lonzo can push tempo. I mean, it's not numbers like you said, but it's like he can get the ball. He can because he's on the field. Because he's on the court, and he can has the ball in his hand. He can make the game go fast. There's not a lot of people that can do that. I think that's why Magic said that he reminds him of him because Magic controls the tempo. Right. It's not about numbers, but with LeBron there, it kind of minimizes what Lonzo does. I don't know how effective Lonzo is with LeBron on the court with him. So I think he'd be an average player. I mean, he has potential. Like, say if he was somewhere like New Orleans, like we talked about with Anthony Davis. Yeah. Say Lonzo, Drew Holiday, and somebody, a better 3 than each one Thompson. He's done more. I think that'd be a 3 seed because they pushed it like Anthony Davis like to play fast. And I mean,
even if you put Lonzo down there with, let's say they accept that package, and you get Lonzo, Kuzma, and a pick. So you got Lonzo, Drew Holiday, well, I said Kuzma. Okay. So Lonzo, Kuzma, Drew Holiday, Niko Mirotic, and Randy. I think that's a decent 5 in the Western Conference. They ain't winning nothing.
Randy is a high-paid.
But they gonna be exciting. My point is they're gonna be exciting long enough to keep the fans' minds off of. We just gave up the franchise if that pick is hot.
Trivia.
They're not going to be excited. They're going to be trash.
You know, Melodic's unofficial nickname?
The punching bag?
No,
he got
that's
hands on by Bobby Portis.
But no.
I'm sorry, Nico. I like you. But
It's Mr. Erotic. Because there was a jersey with his name spelled on there. It was Mr. Erotic.
Ha! Like M.R.
Yeah, Mr. Erotic. So, yeah.
Hey, man, you ever seen, like, Bobby Porter's eyes?
that nigga looks crazy.
He has no soul behind in his eyes. Man.
Like, when they said Bobby Portis punched Niko Mirotic, I said, yo, I'm not shocked.
Yeah. You probably punched him and just looked at him like this.
Dog, I have his team picture from last year, and he looks crazy as shit. Like, there's no, like, that nigga got the beadiest eyes
soul behind
known
those eyes.
to man.
And he's from Arkansas. Come on.
Alright, so
He's seen some shit.
Yeah.
He's seen some shit.
alright, so we had a little over an hour. We said we was gonna do 30, but you got Pat here talking NBA. That's gonna happen. Alright, so NBA Finals prediction. Who you got? Two teams in the finals.
Barring injury?
Barring injury. In a perfect world.
Perfect world. Golden State, obviously. I think this is maybe a hot take. I think Toronto is built.
Come on with it.
Toronto is built to give Boston a hell of a 7-game series. And also, if Toronto, it depends on who has home court advantage. I think Toronto has what it takes to beat Boston in the 7-game series and go to the finals.
I would agree with you. Outside of, I've heard too many NBA insiders say the NBA's worst nightmare is the Toronto Raptors in the NBA Finals because the ratings again they're out towards the ratings.
That's true.
So I think you're going to see the worst. I think if it goes to 7 games in the Eastern Conference Finals, the NBA going to get Tim Donaghy out of retirement to officiate that shit. We know what's coming.
I mean, that's definitely true because nobody cares about Toronto except Toronto fans. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So are you going Toronto Golden State or are you going Boston Golden State?
I mean, early season, I just don't know how engaged Kawhi is, and I don't know how much Kawhi is going to add to. I mean, on paper, they're better.
Because we're going to give her as a February, going to look at Larry,
He going to look at both cheeks and Kyrie, I'm sorry, Kyle gonna have one too many Krispy Kremes. No, I'm sorry, they got Tim Hortons up there. He gonna have one too many Tim Hortons donuts.
I think Lowry's a good player. It's just Lowry can score. He's just not a scorer. Yeah. He can play defense. He's just not a defensive stopper. He's just a good player.
He's not stopping Kyrie.
No, he's not.
He's the league's best backup point guard. But unfortunately, he's starting.
My thing with that series is Kawhi can take out either Tatum or Kyrie. Who's stopping the other?
I don't think he can. He's not. They're not gonna put him on Kyrie. That's a waste of time. So he can get on Tatum. Kyrie, they put Lowry on Kyrie, but I don't know Kyrie. And we're going to see what kind of moves they make, but the first game, going on the first game, it feels like Kyrie was kind of pressing a little bit because it was like, I need to get off, but because the first game back and also got all this talent, took a lot of shots to go around, but I don't know if the whole team is going to stay together. because of the fact, so much.
And I think if they make a move, it won't be like the blockbuster move that everybody's expecting. I don't think it'll be like people think like you talk about the AD trade. I don't think it'll be like a big splash if they do make a move. But like it's crazy that I said that Terry is my sixth man, but he would also be the first guy if there's a trade.
If somebody offered you a first round draft pick for Terry, like even if it's somebody like Miami or somebody, I mean, I take that shit.
Yeah, and I like Terry, but that would absolutely be foolish though if somebody took that.
Because you're gonna leave. Terry's on last year of his contract. You're not gonna pay him, so get something for him. I'd be highly surprised if let's just re-up Mark Smart. Yeah, I don't know, but
well, part of the reason behind them doing that is they have rookie contracts and they have max contracts, but they don't have that like middling contract. So they can include Smart in for salary matching purposes. That's one of the reasons they gave him the money. So he can be right. He can be included in in a contract for a big name that they don't have to trade one of the rookies or one of the max guys.
Okay, I'd be highly surprised if I don't know what Morris's contract looks like.
He's on his last year.
I'd be highly surprised if Morris or Rozier is on the team at the end of the season.
Yeah.
I think that Ainge is smart enough to know if Kyrie's giving you his commitment is going to resign, you got to take him for through the next 3 years basically. We have to start this year. Hayward's there for the next 4 years or 3 years. I would be surprised if they didn't trade them for veterans who are going to be there for the next few years, just to solidify the bench, get some continuity. My finals is, barring injury, Golden State and Boston.
Mine as well.
I think Boston is built to beat them, but something tells me Boogie's infusion, wanting to win the title, and KD probably leaving after this season, which everyone seems to think. His brother hinted at it on Instagram.
Oh, he's definitely leaving.
That might be enough to get them to three-peat in the 4 or 5 years. And then there's Boston's league after.
Couple things. I don't think Cuz gonna have a big impact on the season at all.
I mean, from an emotional standpoint, I think their desire to get him a championship.
I think they're more committed to getting Steph a Finals MVP than they are to anything Boogie related.
And regardless of what Steph said, he was hurt. He didn't get that final.
He wanted that. They were going for that.
He was pressing for that last year.
He wanted that.
He wanted that.
So he's gonna get it this year. And also, I think that Durant. I mean, I'm not surprised anything Durant does because he's
I think you're gonna see Durant and probably Butler on the bench next year.
And they're gonna suck because you got a strong guy and a weak guy.
Durant, Butler, and Porzingis is not a bad team in the East.
Side note, what you think about Kevin Knox?
He's interesting. If he can consistently hit the 3, I like him. Because he can switch everything. He can switch 1 through 4. Presumably. I'm saying.
He has like the makeup of like a Mitch Richmond, like a lot of points and that it doesn't matter.
I think if you put him on a good team, let's say you can run out there.
Because by the way, this is my hot take pick of the year.
They gotta fix their point guard situation.
Oh yeah. Because Ron Baker ain't it.
Ron Baker ain't it.
He has no
Trey
business.
Burke, even though he's a Michigan dude, he ain't it. And Frank Ntilikina definitely ain't it.
They got 3 point guards and 9 really point guards.
Right.
Frank
So
Ntilikina,
if you can run,
Burke?
Yeah.
if you can run out there,
Moody is still there?
Huh?
Moody is still there?
Moutier is still there. Yeah. So if you can run out there, Porzingis at the 5, Durant at the 4, Knox at the 3, Butler at the 2.
6.
You calling that a 6? Come on, man. That's the 2 seed in the East that's currently in the struggle.
They ain't got no heart. They ain't built like that.
This is 3 seed.
No, I mean Butler at least has some heart.
Yeah.
But you taking Butler right now with another year on his bill. Butler's definitely over 30.
He is, because he came out of school, what, 23? He was 22 or 23.
And he did 3 years, yeah. And so he was at
Marquette.
Yeah,
He was at Marquette, and he was at,
did JUCO in with the Marquette. Yeah.
and he was at Chicago doing 40 minutes a game for how many years?
For Thibodeau.
Bro,
Yeah, no. Butler is the ticking time bomb. But I think the Knicks are more. I'm assuming Kyrie isn't going to leave because he said he wasn't going to leave. I'm
You
assuming.
can trust that anymore.
I said I'm assuming. I didn't say I trusted it. I said I'm assuming. I think Kyrie fully would leave if it seems like at the end of this
like you
season
said,
it's
I
Jason
think
Tatum's
Kyrie's
season.
enough of a basketball nerd that he's falling in love with Stevens, and he knows he kind of has. He's playing the kind of basketball he wants to play there.
Kyrie did an interview in Cleveland with kids saying he gonna stay. And then,
I mean,
then the next week,
true.
and demanded the trade. Like
But
the next week.
that was before LeBron got there. So to be fair, it was like you ain't gonna leave us like LeBron are you? That was when he signed the extension and thought, all right, I'm the man here.
Yeah.
I think it depends on if him and Tatum and Hayward can figure out the hierarchy between them. I think Tatum is I think Kyrie wants the last shot. I think that's what Kyrie.
But let me tell you this. You know why I think it will work? Because of what Tatum said after the first game. Tatum said, our best scorer didn't even get off tonight. Honestly, it's him. But the fact that came out his mouth.
I mean, because who in the league could shut down Kyrie in the finals? Kawhi, maybe?
No. Stop saying that. No.
I said maybe. I said maybe.
No.
Maybe. I said maybe.
Kawhi's
Pat.
like 6'8", like no.
I said maybe, Pat. I didn't say that. I mean, because look, Klay Thompson is one of the 10 best defenders in the NBA, and Kyrie was giving him fits. So who's shutting down Kyrie in the NBA
It's not a
finals?
good matchup, man. You know, Kyrie's my favorite player in the league.
Mine too.
My belief is that if Kyrie's getting off, you're probably gonna lose.
Because he can finish. He can get past you when he can finish.
No.
There's nothing you
For
can do.
you, Kyrie's team is probably gonna lose.
Oh.
Because he's not getting anybody involved. He's gonna get buckets.
No, I buy it.
You know, he had LeBron on his team, and LeBron scored 40 that game as well. But other than those games, when LeBron scored like 38, 40 or some shit like that, and he had that block. So other than that, like Kyrie, he's my favorite player, but he gets a lot of empty points. Like he gets a lot of empty points, like a lot of them.
I think the difference though is with Stevens. I trust Stevens enough that if Kyrie's doing that, the rest of the team's still involved because they want such an equal opportunity.
I trust Stevens enough to say throughout the whole game, everybody's gonna get involved, but at the end of the game, I'm gonna get Kyrie in a position to make a shot that he likes, that he's comfortable in. That I know 80% he's gonna make this shot. He can draw up with some kind of play that's gonna get him a shot.
And I think Tatum too. Tatum has shown that dog in him, like Brian likes to say, that dog in him that I think he like. But I think Kyrie knows that. I think Tatum knows that Kyrie's built for that last shot, so that he probably would defer.
Tatum is like 20, and Kyrie's probably 100 items.
I mean, the whole team does wear Kyrie. Hell, I wear Kyrie. I wear Kyrie's at this
That
point.
shit crazy. Like, okay, like there's Wendell Carter. Who's his like his favorite player? Like he said Embiid. Like Embiid like 2 years older than you. Exactly.
This is a different time. All right, so are we all saying Golden State's winning the title, Bayern injured?
No, I'm still leaving Boston. I'm taking Boston. I don't care. I know I'm irrational. I don't care.
I think Boston can beat Golden State. I just don't think Boston makes it to the playoffs.
I think if they play, I think Golden State wins.
If it's Boston and Golden State, I think Boston wins.
I'm gonna be the outlier saying it's Boston Golden State. I think Golden State gets it, but I think after that it's Boston. Assuming Kyrie resigns. All right, so we went way longer than we were going to, but it was a good conversation. It's a good conversation. So all right, Pat is a fan of the game. Follow him at Patrick PATTRIC. Can you put his app on the video?
I will do that.
Ronnie is too good for Twitter.
Once again, I'm not too good for Twitter. People just really stupid. So.
No, people are really stupid. And yeah, you can find us.
Let's stop arguing about $200 dates and
$200
buying the house versus renting. So you know.
All the dumb shit. I say this and I say this all the time. Google Plus has the best social media app in the world. But that's all.
That's all no kind.
So I'm probably gonna type a post this weekend if I don't get too busy. You can control what other people saw. I like that.
It was clunky though.
I meant the concept.
Because it was beta. They didn't get a chance to like do a full run.
Yeah, I think the concept of it,
Like, the
idea
concept
that
was cool.
The idea that you control what everybody sees was great to me.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I'm gonna do a post probably this week on what I would love to see in the NBA. It features, among other things, the relocation of 2 teams to bigger markets and what we could do to get a more balanced schedule, including getting rid of the Eastern and Western Conference. Because Memphis is further east than like 2 Eastern Conference teams, which makes no sense to me. But until next time, we'll be back. Me and Ronnie will determine whatever we come back, whenever we're both willing to drive to Birmingham again. Pat is here. Follow him on Twitter. Always gems and tweets whenever he's deciding to tweet. He's inspired like 4 or 5 blog posts on that.
We're gonna put pressure on you now. We're gonna pressure you into being our NBA. So you know,
I've told
the position pay is nothing, but
I told Pat 2 years ago to start an NBA podcast because I would listen to it because I go to him for all of my NBA shit. So we're gonna try to get Pat his own NBA podcast up on the site so you guys can listen to that. Because I promise you, this man is knowledgeable about the game and will have you looking at shit in a way that you didn't look at it before. So anybody got anything you want to plug? You get no income tax time in here, but you.
Tired of your text, man.
He got me some money back, man.
All up your boy.
Fuck with Pat, man.
All up in the videos. All up on the street with the Statue of Liberty costume. All that your boy.
Fuck with Pat, man. We ain't in the new year yet, but I promise you, come February, you're gonna want to come holler at him. So, but other than that, we will be back hopefully in a couple weeks. If not, back to something.
closing comment. RJ Barrett, get ready. That's all I'm saying.
Is he really that good?
He's that good.
I think Zion's gonna be better than anticipated.
No.
But we'll have to do a college b-ball post.
Zion is a dummy.
What Trey Jones?
Yeah,
Is he okay? Is he? I need him to be a shooter. Is he a shooter?
he's exactly like his brother.
Damn it!
Hey,
He's everything his brother.
Samuel Williams is
What
gonna
space
be
is
terrible
gonna
at
come
UNC.
Where the space gonna come from?
That's what they gotta figure out because they got too much like players right now.
Yeah, it's like 3 of the same. Like Barrett.
Because Cam Reddish is like a lesser RJ Barrett to me.
Yes! It's like, okay, y'all do the same thing. One right hand, one left hand.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then Zion
And
does the same thing.
and then God forbid, the starting center is Marcus Bolden.
He definitely is. Because he's like the captain.
Yeah.
They're Duke fans. I'm a Carolina fan. We got our last national title for the next 7 years. I'm happy about that. Come on, man.
How long 7 Wood been able to do?
He did it.
YouTube stuff.
I was in college when they said 7 Woods was going to be the next guy.
Hey, listen, man.
I graduated in 2007. It's 2008, he's still in college.
Bro,
2018, he's still in
we've
college.
been watching those videos for so long, bro.
Hey, listen, man. Roy Williams know what he's doing, man.
He has a beard.
Okay.
7 Woods has like a 5-year-old kid. 7 Woods.
Like,
How is he still in school?
like y'all really told me he was gonna be the one, man.
I didn't tell you that.
I
Y'all
saw
told me he
him
was gonna
like,
be the one.
that's 7 Woods.
Hey, listen. When I lived in North Carolina, I walked
He
into
can't
a
even
bank.
shoot.
I lived in North Carolina. I walked to a bank when I was growing my hair out, and a girl told me I looked like Joe Barry, and if I wouldn't have been married, I probably would have like asked for a number. But
Yes,
that's all the story because I don't look nothing like Joe Barry. But
You don't.
Clearly.
That's funny though.
clearly,
You know who you do look like? You like Randy
Hey,
Foye.
hey! Relax.
Randy Foye was
Relax.
The
Relax.
four going on.
I don't look like Randy Foye. Damn. All right, man.
Hey, I'm gonna put a poll on the bottom of this video. Does he look like Randy Foye? Okay.
All right, man. We out this.
We out.
Hey, the thumbnail for this shit is gonna be a picture of AJ and a picture of Randy Foye.
Come on.